only on Eyewitness News at 6.
What we're doing is keeping the American people safe.
Florida jails being turned into housing centers for suspected gang members and illegal immigrants with criminal records. And Only 9 Investigates is going inside one of these facilities. Again, tonight, Only 9 Investigates gets an exclusive look into how immigrants are housed, the cost, and what it means for our community. So again, only going to see that story right here on Channel 9. It is so interesting. Good evening. I'm Greg Warmoth.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. We're seeing how the illegal immigrants are being held while they wait to be removed from our state. We went to Glades County, right in the middle of the state, where 500 immigrants will soon call the detention center home. 9 Investigates' Shannon Butler got that exclusive access and joins us live in the studio. Shannon, that jail looks like any other in our state.
Well, yeah, from the outside, but what's different is who they're housing. They've just taken in more than 100 gang members and others with criminal records who will be removed from the U.S. in just a few days.
They'll come through this main gate.
It's here in the middle of our state where the Glades County Jail sits, ready to take in undocumented migrants who were picked up by ICE.
Orange over here.
And it's expected to fill up almost immediately as the removals continue to ramp up in Florida.
We've dumped 800,000 detainers in the system. They actually have a place now to bring them. That's close.
On this day, a Department of Homeland Security official made his first visit, and the sheriff welcoming us in as well for a look of our own. The jail had just opened, and the second busload of migrants had just arrived from the main ICE detention center in South Florida. The detainees brought here were called flight-ready removals. That means they have already gone through their appeals process and evaluations, and in 10 to 14 days, they'll be on a plane out of Florida.
Should be a revolving situation. Now, you figure the millions of illegals in the country, they're going to be steadily picking them up.
The Glades County Jail opened in 2007 and is now one of only 2 local jails that are taking in these detainees. For the time they're here, the jail is in charge of their medical and nutritional needs. It's not cheap. ICE is paying the county $20 million for this space. This is one of the dormitories where the detainees are held. You can see these are the beds they sleep on. What's different here than in a regular jail is that each detainee has to have their own bed. That prevents, in rooms like this, the overcrowding. In recent years, local activists and community leaders have denounced the use of the Glades County Jail for the migrants after the facility had complaints of medical negligence, constitutional rights violations, and sexual misconduct. In 2022, the Biden administration moved to limit the use of the facility due to what it said was persistent and ongoing concerns related to the detainees' medical care and described the facility as one of limited operational significance. But now it's back open again, and the sheriff says some of the complaints were unfounded, but other inspection failures have now, he says, been addressed. What do you want the public to know about a facility like this?
That we're average Americans here operating this facility. We take pride in our community, we take pride in our state, and we take pride in our country. And what we're doing is keeping the American people safe.
Now, there are more facilities that could come online, but because of staffing and repairs to a lot of these jails, they just haven't taken that opportunity to bring in those detainees, and it's not clear if they will. What's so interesting about Glades County, if you know where that is, there's a lot of sugarcane and other, agriculture. That is a very migrant-driven community, and there's a jail right in the middle of it now.
So interesting.
So what's next here in Florida when it comes to all the raids that are happening?
I think we're going to see a ramp up in Florida. I think we're just seeing the beginning. That's why these jails and these detention centers are so important, because there aren't enough beds. There's only like 2,500, including with this jail, beds in the entire state, and they're going to arrest a lot more in Florida than just that.
And you also remarked to me during the story how clean it was there.
It was quite clean. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, thank you, Shannon. Now you'll stay on top of that. Good job showing our viewers what it is like. We recently told you about another 9 Investigates exclusive, also on immigration. We were invited along on an ICE raid in our community. Juan Andres Barolo Moreno Romero was arrested in Orlando, and according to ICE, he's a 25-year-old from Venezuela. They say he was living here illegally and a known gang member and part of the Tren de Aragua, or TDA gang, which is known as a violent gang.